YouTube. Back at the digger project there today. Just on the workings of it there. I've cleaned out the holes in the chain. I used the hammer to blow it through. Just gonna slip the pad into place. Just following the way the previous pads have gone in. So that edge underneath the next track. Line it up with the holes. Let's get my bolts. Should have had my bolts next to me, but it is what it is. I didn't pick up the box there and bring it over because the ass of the box is loose. So I just off camera there bring over the whole box and I can do the next few ones. So I don't want to start beating it in yet because I'm going to strip the threads or damage them. Dirt there and debris which was restricting the nuts from going in properly. I'm just lining up the nuts here now at the bottom. Again, not ideal to be doing on with one hand. Was actually find my head strap for the GoPro after misplace it, so I must find that. It's another day's work. Now that I have my 4 bolts in and torqued up with impact, it's time now to get the power bar. It's a handy feature here on this set that the power bar fits into the ratchet on a 3/4 inch set. And I'm just doing this one-handed here now again. Now, she's in. All over the place, but I think you get the gist. So I'll give myself plenty torque, and I'll have my 2 hands on it there when I'm out off camera, but that'll be enough to tighten the bolts. They're 12.9 bolts, which is a lot, so they'll take a lot of to tighten them. They're fine thread as well. So I'll drive on here, get back to you when the next one is finished. pads on this side. Sure, action. The top roller still spinning away. I have noticed that one of the bottom rollers has a flat spot on it, so I'll have to change that out. The rest of them seem okay for flat spots, but we'll have to look at them all. I do have a spare for that. Picked it up when I picked up the top rollers and the pads, so I don't have a full set of rollers. They are quite expensive, so I'm just trying to do the best I can with it. We'll go from there. So I decide just to get her now, which is the main thing. Actually measure the pad height versus the worn versus the new and see what way the chains are, just for my own benefit. Well, there's the dog with my glove. Free Mexican glove. So happy now I got those on. I still have some missing bolts to fix there as well. I'll try and identify as many as I can. I'll have to come up with a plan to tighten the loose bolts and have this side working correctly, at least, and review what I'm doing with the other side then after that. Just take it one step at a time, working through it, getting the jobs done, cross them off the list, which should be a nice bigger definition. As I said, I'd pop off the track today. It came loose on me as I was tracking through the field. I wanted to see the idler here, what was wrong. Idler slash tensioner. I just shook it side to side. So that's why she was coming off. It was tracking differently. It would pop off the chain. Bearings in there are worn. I don't know if it can be rebuilt. Let me know if you've experience with these. You can get kits for them. Probably not. I still have to look at the adjuster on it as well, because that was coming slack. So it's a combination of both. The adjuster could be bypassing the seals on the adjuster, and obviously this is worn out as well. Hey YouTube. I've taken out the idler here as I was losing tension. There's a tensioner built into the idler wheel. Noticed here was that there's wear on the sliders for the tensioner. I've cleaned up there and I put a straight edge against it. You can see a lot of wear. That's roughly it. There's about 5mm. I'm not able to hold it properly there, but there's roughly about 5mm wear. So I want to build that up there. So I just said I'd show you before I start welding. Just to show you how much wear is in the slider. This profile gauge. You can see the thickness of the metal fills the gauge. I'll just put out to here. There's a bit of a gap there, so 5 or 6mm there, roughly. So there is a bit in it. See, is that the same? Yeah, it's the same on the back there on that side. So that is a waste of time. Change them out. Not big enough. So I don't know if these any good, but I'll try them in a kind of a cheapy sanding disc.
Just to show you how out of square it is. It's not actually too bad, but there is a slight bit of wear there. There's more wear on the bottom than on the top, so the top seems square enough, but as it goes down the wear gets more extreme. So it does have to be built up some bit. Hope you can see that there. So this is the other side. Something similar to the bone on the bottom aspect of it there. This has to be built up. Similarly, underneath here, there's a lot of wear on it. So that'll have to be built up as well. It'd be nice to run the weld in that, but we'll see how it goes. So I don't have my welder set up, so I must set up my welder before I went to the next step, because otherwise it'll all go rusty if I don't get a chance to weld it. I'll leave it at that. progress video there on the top runner. You can see, so let's square it off that way. There is a small gap there, I might fill that. Yeah, it's getting there. I'll try and fill those small holes there and fill this top section. This section here still requires a bit of weld. I'm getting there. It is, I suppose it is stick welding, so I suppose I am getting through it. Yeah, I'm definitely a grinder, not a welder. It's just to fill the part, it's not structural or anything. So it's just filling. Hopefully I'll be able to improve on this. So just give you an update video there. That's the top section welded and ground down. So it's not too bad. There was a big gap at the start. This one here, the weld is a bit cold, but it's not structural weld, it's just a filler weld. Just a small section to fill on this piece here, so I'll put another bead of weld and grind it down. Shouldn't be too bad. This top one here was the worst. It's all overhead, so I wanted to come away from it. I wanted to do something that was fairly easy to do there. I'll go back to it again. That's the other side. See the wear in it, so we're just filling that up with weld and grinding it back. So this is actually fairly good here. I won't have to fill that much, so it's just kind of the bottom section of it really that needs to be filled. It's actually fairly good. As I'm here, as I have the welder, I'll do what I can with it. But that was the worst section here, and it has been filled and welded. But I still must knock off slag here and grind it down the bottom. But let me get at it. I just said I'd show you this section here. So it was probably 2 or 3 mil of a gap. But I've just built up the outside there. I'm going to, it was only the top half really, the bottom half was okay. It was tapering in on the top. I'm going to check this parallel surface now as well and give that a run or two if it's out. But I just wanted to show you before I ground it off. So just to show you the gap there. That's the wear on the top surface. It's about maybe 4 mil. So I'll run a few beads of weld along that, fill up those gaps. You can see the gap there. So my welding looks crap altogether, but I'm a grinder, not a welder. This is another progress video there. You can see the lines of weld. It's taken age to fill all the small gaps, but got it back to fairly factory and treat them. You can see the arch here on that. There's still about 3 or 4 mil of material to fill up there. Yeah, I just said I'd show you a bit of progress as I'm working through it. Just another progress pick. So a lot of pigeon shit there. Small inclusion in that spot. But it's just to fill the gap. Small hole, a couple of small holes like that won't matter. And might be able to fill them after and see what way it is, but in order to, I suppose, fill in between those high spots,
I'd have to run more weld, be chasing myself all day, so this is just to get the slap out of it. This excavator is not going to be doing 40 hour plus weeks again. It's going into retirement, but I just want to take the slap out of it. Potentially that's the piston up there. It is a rigid point, so if the cylinder's always flapping around it, it potentially can damage the seals. That's my take on it anyway. So I just want to take the slap out of it, and there'll be no shaking, there'll be no seals going down and things. So that's my theory, and I'm sticking with it. 3/4 of the way, well, halfway there. Instead of that to grind down and that to fill and grind, it's getting there. So just a progress video there. Filled up this section. Happy enough with it. So just welding and grinding. So a lot of grinding. So I reckon I'm a grinder rather than a welder. So this one is in progress. You can see the inside of it there. It's not high enough yet, so it needs to be built up a bit more. So I was able to achieve a fairly good finish here on that. We still run a line of weld here on this chamfer. I suppose when I've been grinding it, it has worn it down, so just for the aesthetic look there again, fill up a weld. So you can see the wear on the top one. You can see a kind of a semicircle. So that was on the bottom one here. So I filled that up. You can see it's not the one flat surface, but you could be chasing these small holes and lines forever. It is stick welding, it's not MIG. You do have slag forming, and you have to grind down all that when you're welding. So I have used flap discs and grinding pads and things like that. I have a selection of things trialed out here. So I find that these flap discs are the best really for taking it down. Grinding discs then second place. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to fill up this with weld more and grind it down. So this is top one here. This is my first one, and looks a bit like pigeons were at it. So I am going to come back to this again. My excuse is my welder did give up during it, and I wasn't giving correct power. I had to replace the capacitors on it. I was able to achieve this type of finish. I know some say it isn't great, but it's totally suitable for what I need it to do. And I've to finish this one out yet. So this was in progress, and this one is to be completed. I'll go back over this one again. So it has flash rust since the last day. So when I am at it again, I'll have to get the wire rush to it, the cup wheel, get welding and grind it down again. Yeah, that's the last one to do here. I'll click the fingers and hopefully it'll be done at some stage, but I'll get the old editing skills honed in if I do get it right. Okay, so guys, we'll have at it. Let me talk to you later.
So I got a square out here just to check both sides against each other. You can see the square is dangling, which means that it's pivoting upon 2 points. I suppose we're not precision engineers here, so small gaps and spaces don't really matter that much. What does matter is that the idler actually slides in and out smoothly, so that'll be a later check. But as I was welding this up and grinding it down, I was checking all the clearances as I went. So I'm just demonstrating here, like it looks okay, but there is minute gaps in there. So I will proceed to show you now how I came about the final clearances on it. I actually made up a jig of the idler to the specifications of the block that it slides along, and I inserted it into the carriageway here, and it was allowed it to, I suppose, demonstrate where I was getting caught, where I had to grind down or fill up in cases, but predominantly grind down. So yeah, it looks okay, but still a small bit of work. You can see the curvature is still there on the top left hand slider. But, and yeah, that still needs to be addressed. The old pigeons left that after them. So not my proudest moment, that part there, but here I demonstrate the jig I made up. So you can see it slides in and out. It's just a bit of channel iron and a bit of rebar. So it was a slight snagging there when it was off square, but I was quite happy. You can see the finished product there. That's top left hand one now is all full up with weld, and I'm checking the squareness of each runner, and the gaps and space are minimal. So like that, if there are any clearance issues, like it will wear itself through. So I'm not too concerned. But I suppose I'm just showing you the extent of all the checking and squaring off and things like that, you know. So there was a bit of work in this, but I'm glad I did it. It turned out nice after.
So that popped apart there, took off the 4 bolts, had to do a bit of kicking there, but it came apart. So yeah, now it's time to take off the caps here and just put it onto the other one. I am using the phone, so, and it is raining, and it's something happening, it's vibrating and things, so I'll just give you the finished article there, we put back together. But main thing now, next thing is putting on the seals on the piston, getting that back inside in the cylinder here, and getting the assembly back into the cradle of the carriage there again. So I've cleaned up the end of the piston there a bit. This side here is going to the cylinder. This side here is going to be exposed, so there's no real point going to town clean it all, but I will give it a bit of TLC after I finish here. But you can see the damage on the seals here, and this guy is really damaged, so yeah, replacing the seals will help surely. It's tapered back in this way. The higher face is what's going to be going through the cylinder. This hard face meets the grease. A bit interesting. I do have a parts book for it. So that's the page there with all the bits and pieces. You can see the breakdown. If anyone wants to pause that there, it should be similar for other Hitachi machines. So, oh shit. Working the book. That's the valve assembly there. I wasn't sure of the name of that. That's the piston. That's the cylinder which is going into. So these are seals here. There seems to be only 2 seals on this diagram. Just when I look at the piston itself, there's 3 on it. So this is the explanation of the different part numbers there, and explanation in, it is actually a kind of an Italian book, I think. Yeah, it's a handy thing to have. I just picked this up off the internet, typed in FH150. So I don't know if you can buy all those bushings and seals separately to rebuild the idler. I opted to go with new. So I'm just worried about that. It doesn't really give orientation. There is a kind of a, you can see a lip here. So sure, all I can do is go with what's on it.
and go from there. Just that I'd show you the book that I bought for it. It's a handy thing to have, so it's a breakdown of all the parts and things. Yeah, getting back to the seals here. If the grease is going against that, it'll compact against the seal, and the seal will build up against the sidewall of the cylinder. I suppose if it was tapered the other way, the grease would bypass. Grease would push out from this side, obviously. It would push out up the ramp, so I'm going to go with the way it is now here. So I'll do is I'll take off the seals here. I have a little pry tool to take them off. Imagine for yourself, don't take it off. The camera's a bit shaky there, and I have to use the two hands, so look, I'm just going to pull off the seals and get back on that. So the seal kit I got with it comes in 3 parts. This part here, I'm not sure what it goes onto. I must check the cylinder side. This might go into it. Two seem to be the same that came off the piston here. I'm just going to proceed with putting these on, and this is the actual way it goes on too. So I'll give that a clean down and just pop these on. I've just been comparing the seals, and this wiper seal here, you can see either my seal kit is wrong or there's been a lot of wear in it. So you can see the wear on the outside, potentially a smaller diameter on the inside as well, so it was worn. You can just see the difference in the thickness of the walls. So I'll just stick it on here to clean off the grease. I'll stick it on and go from there. So it is coming along for me. I have a ratchet strap on it there and just pull it out of the bucket, and when it was secure I moved the bucket away and was able to just move it back and forth and move it along and advance it into the carriageway here. My biggest problem is going to be getting that upright, but I'm just going to keep at it until it's fairly close and I can start manipulating there again. I'll get the ratchet strap on it in a different way. I might be able to ratchet it onto there or something like that and move it in, but it's coming along for me anyway. Happy enough with the progress so far. Nearly there now. I just had to stop myself up. There's 2 flat spots on the either end of the piston there. So I just had to make sure that they're in line with the idler. Probably won't be able to see this now, but there is 2 flat spots. I'll just pause the video there and put on the flashlight.